The other day I was doing some thinking, and honestly, each year when my birthday comes around, and I'm sure that many people also feel somewhat the same, you can't help but feel a little bit of melancholic. When you're younger, your birthday is the greatest thing on the planet, right? Like all your friends come over, you have gifts, but slowly and surely as the years go by, that effort to have people around you on your birthday starts to fade out, and it becomes ever so hard to do so, to actually encourage to do something for your birthday. And it almost gets to a point where you're like, I rather have a normal day, just a few different things for myself. That's it. And I was doing some thinking the other day. I was really thinking about my birthday, and I was just like, oh, I don't really want anything to go on, special. But I almost feel like, you can't allow yourself to pity yourself and kind of create this negative cloud around you to the point where you're like, I'm not going to do anything special for my birthday. But why do I deserve it? That kind of thinking sense. And so I was thinking, I just got to force myself to, and not necessarily force myself, but step out, reach out to people and be like, let's grab lunch for my birthday. Let's, go just do a little shopping. And I just do something out of the ordinary. And I think as we grow older, you become in charge of your own birthday. In the past, your parents would usually do it, or maybe if you're lucky enough, you get some good friends who throw a surprise party for yourself. But you got to propel that effort and create this energy around your birthday to make it a true celebration. And I think birthdays truly should be celebrated. And, as we grow older, you shouldn't look at it as a negative thing, but more of a opportunity to improve in the next year and reminisce on the year behind you. And granted, there may be a lot of bad things that happened within your last year or great things, but you need to be able to identify those and understand, hey, what am I going to do in this year of my birthday? So for example, I'm turning 24 this year. What am I going to do in year 24 of my life that'll be different? That'll make that I can look back and be like, yeah, when I was 24, I did this. This. I was proud of who I was. So it's kind of a bit of accountability, and what makes it so different from per se a New Year's resolution is just, there's not that expectation where everyone else is doing it. This is like a self goal. You write it down, you hold yourself accountable. You're like, this is where I want to be. But I think the important thing too is not to drill yourself into the ground if you don't get there. Obviously you want to push yourself to make those steps to get to where you want to be, but sometimes you need to understand that some things take a while. And I think that's one of those things: self goals, self improvements, careers, school, whatever it is. Sometimes those sort of things take a while, and you have to understand that, hey, there's no point in getting frustrated that it isn't happening, because good things happen to those who wait. So I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm trying to twist this melancholic feeling that I feel around my birthday into a more optimistic and a more energetic and more feeling of, hey, let's go, new year, new age. It's time to push forward and succeed even more. And I'm excited, and I'm not gonna allow these thoughts of depression and just sadness overcome my life because I'm getting a year older. I should look at that as an opportunity. I'm grateful I made another year. Now I have this opportunity to grow, to change myself. And if I wasn't happy with who I am, guess what? You have another chance to change it. And you just gotta move forward past the stuff that's been holding you back. And yeah, I think that's it. And it's weird, this melancholic feeling of the birthday, but at the end of the day, this is what we got to do. We got to move forward. We got to take a time to reflect, look at the year behind, but we can't pin ourselves down to all the things that held us down or things that made us feel bad during the year. We got to move forward and create ourselves with new energy, new positive energy, new energy to win, to succeed. and just move forward. I guess this was just like a sort of a rant or sort of thought process video. Guys, I know it's been a minute since I posted. I mean, I posted 3 videos in 3 months. Like, it's not good. But the reality is, I find that sometimes I can get caught very busy surrounding myself with so much to do, work-wise, relationship-wise, life-wise, you know, projects and all these things. And it's so easy to put things in the back of your pocket. But the reality is, I probably should be making some videos, and if you guys are okay with it, I love making these honest to talk videos about, you know, how I feel about certain subjects and stuff like that. That obviously in between sports, it's some contrast, and I'm going to be studying psychology in September, and so I want to kind of create this as a way to look at my growth and understanding psychology and growing as a human being and understanding all these sort of skills and abilities to advance ourselves. So if you guys are into that, you know, I'm gonna try to start creating some more content, maybe once a week, but I'm gonna keep making sports content. And yeah, guys, you know, I just wanted to say, you know, happy birthday to myself, I guess. You know, 24 years old. You know, it's funny, I think back to when I was 14, 13, and I hopped on YouTube way back when, and I was like, oh, I remember by 2016 or 2017, I'm gonna be on like YouTube Rewind. And you know, it's funny, you watch all these different YouTubers at a young age. They're all like 22, 23, 24. And you're like, oh, they're so old. And then you get to that age, and you're like, wow, man, it's like, it's kind of crazy. It's just like, I don't know, it doesn't feel old, you know? Like, I don't feel like I'm quite at that adult stage, but I guess who is ever, it feels like they're in that adult stage. I think life just kind of throws you into it. But yeah, I'm just gonna enjoy the day, guys, here, and spend time with friends and family, and just celebrate my life. And guys, you should too. You know, take care of yourself. Life's worth living, and I love you all.